eminent actor Dalip Tahil here with me. A very good afternoon to you, sir, and appreciate you joining us here at Mirror Now. Now, what we were just reporting a short while back, Mr. Tahil, is that the Prime Minister, in the National Executive meeting of the BJP, had urged upon his party cadre to not indulge in making any such a statement or say something that may impact the fortune of a given movie, because Bollywood, by and large, lately has been at the receiving end of the boycott and the cancel culture. How do you see this boycott cancel culture, which has now become very fashionable and popular, and the fact that the Prime Minister had to intervene and make a statement to put things in perspective?
A very good afternoon to you. आप सबको प्रणाम. हमारे पहले तो सबसे पहले तो मैं अपने भारत के माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि उन्होंने ये शब्द कहे हैं. इससे फिल्म इंडस्ट्री को बहुत राहत मिलेगी. और मैं अपनी तरफ से नहीं, बट केवल अपनी तरफ से नहीं, लेकिन लाखों और हजारों और लाखों मजदूर जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री की कमाई पे, अपनी रोजी रोटी पर निर्भर हैं, तो उनकी तरफ से मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं. और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री जी श्री आदित्यनाथ जी, योगी आदित्यनाथ जी, जो कुछ दिन पहले मुंबई आए थे, उनको भी मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं. इसका बहुत अच्छा असर होगा फिल्म इंडस्ट्री पे. लोग फिल्में बनाना शुरू करेंगे और ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. और यही है कि सबका विकास और सबका साथ और सबका विकास होना चाहिए. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रधानमंत्री जी को और योगी आदित्यनाथ जी को, क्योंकि जैसे आपने एज यू सेड कि हालांकि ये ऐसी बात है जहां प्रधानमंत्री, देश के प्रधानमंत्री को मतलब कुछ कहने की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए, लेकिन बात यहां तक पहुंच गई थी, एक हद तक आ गई थी जहां उनको बोलना जरूरी था, और हम उनके बहुत 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 धन्यवाद देते हैं.
Mr. Tahil, you know, it's not just the actors who are being targeted for their movies. Recently, it's about Shah Rukh Khan's upcoming movie Pathan, which is being preyed upon by the fringe outfits. Several of them going out on a rampage, and they are breaking down, either the movie theaters or they're tearing down posters. But it's also the crew. Now, a big budget movie definitely has hundreds of people working on a movie. Does that not be a basic premise that politicians must refrain from making a statement that may impact the very livelihood of all those who are working on a film?
यही तो कहा मैंने कि मैं मजदूरों, जो लाखों और करोड़ों मजदूर हैं जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री की कमाई पे, अपनी रोजी रोटी पर निर्भर हैं, उनकी तरफ से मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं. आई एम थैंकिंग द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द लैक्स ऑफ पीपल हु डिपेंड ऑन द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री फॉर देयर लाइवलीहुड, which was under threat. This comes as a huge relief to the film industry across India, because people now will begin to make movies without fear of boycott. And I think this is perfectly in keeping with the mantra which was Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Because what happens with boycotts actually is there are a lot of people who are not in front of the camera, as you quite rightly said, who are dependent on the film industry for various other aspects. They all suffer. Their livelihood suffers. And at the end of the day, it is absolutely anti-progress.
Mr. Tahil, freedom of expression and art should be kept absolutely separate from politics per se. But do you think that politics can be kept separate, or that fine line that gets diminished in due course of time? Because we often also see actors taking political position to be able to secure their future projects.
Well, I would not like to comment on that, but what I would like to say is that the government has a body called the Central Board of Film Certification, whose job it is to see and okay and release with certification films that will be that are there for universal viewing, films that may affect the polity of the nation. That is the job of the Central Board of Film Censor. And once they have cleared a film for general public or universal public viewing and exhibition, actually boycotts of a nature after that are against the government itself. I mean, apart from the fact that they're anti-progress and it affects the livelihood of many people, it is actually against the very diktat and the very norms and the very conditions that the Central Board of Film Certification has put forward. So it's very contradictory.
Mr. Tahil, then what would you want to tell the people and the party workers or the cadre of Bajrang Dal or VHP who have gone on a rampage and they have given a clarion call to boycott a movie like Pathan, which is set to release on 25th? They are saying that they do not care about what the censor board says because the censor board has ordered around 14 such cuts. But they still want to go ahead and boycott that. Do you think that is fair?
I hear what you're saying, and I've answered it. It is not my place. The Prime Minister of the country has made a statement, and I think that's going to have a very important bearing on all the people of this country, and I think it is going to be a very progressive step and comes as a huge relief for the film industry.
Absolutely. Mr. Dalip Tahil, appreciate you joining us here at Mirror Now and making those valued input. Of course, we can only hope that what the Prime Minister said should now be the benchmark for everybody to follow and fall in line, for that matter, that as far as Bollywood is concerned and the cancel and the boycott culture is concerned, that should be done away with, and that the politicians should refrain from making statements that may adversely impact the future or the culture of Bollywood.